I need to stop looking straight into it. It's Elgato's newest product for now, by the time you're watching this video, of course, and it's a tiny light that is battery operated. In the box, you will find the Key Light Mini, a USB cable, and the quick start guide. When you grab the Key Light Mini, you will see on this side that there's a USB-C port in order to charge it, there's a power button, and there's also a jog wheel. Now, the jog wheel is basically similar to what you would find on like a Sony camera for the zoom. You can pull it and push it on each direction, but it also has a middle button. So when you press it, kind of like a joystick, you have access to the different modes. The different modes here are brightness, and the other one is white balance. The brightness is about 800 lumens. It is very bright, but not too bright. We can see that there's a piece of diffusion in front of it, so the light is kind of softer, and you of course get softer shadows because of that. It is a 4000 milliamp battery. It claims to have a quick charge of 60 minutes while offering 4 hours powered on. Doesn't specify if it's full brightness or not. The white balance mode goes from 2900 to 7000 Kelvin, so you don't actually get quite blue. It's just very white, and then it goes to pretty much orange, but all within the range of natural skin tone. It doesn't give you like the pure orange skin or blue. It's basically white and pretty warm white. Another thing to note is that it is Wi-Fi capable, so it is compatible with Stream Deck and basically your whole Elgato Wi-Fi system. That is something that I'm not gonna be using, but I think it's cool to have the option. Why is that? So let's talk about use cases. I don't want to, spend too much time talking about the device itself. I mostly want to talk about how you can use it and how I'm gonna use it. Personally, I'm a YouTuber and I do a lot of tech review. You're watching one right now. So I often have to have like some sort of mobile setup when I'm reviewing tech, when I'm filming B-roll and stuff like that. So this is going to be super practical, especially with like the white balance, the fact that everything is controlled manually, so I don't need to have it over Wi-Fi in order to use it properly. That is great. The fact that it's edge lit, meaning that the lights are actually on the outside projecting towards the diffusion, give you extra diffusion. That is all good. Usually you get beautiful lighting. It's not harsh lighting directly. That being said, if you point it, it is a small source of light, so I think you get like the softest light that you can for what it is, but usually small bright sources are never a good thing for like the skin. Small bright things always feel like harsh light, even though this is completely like diffuse light in a way. That being said, I expected it to be harsher on my skin. I can easily see this being off camera pointing at my face. I wouldn't do that, but it is possible that you use this as a key light. Let me turn off my Elgato key light that I use for my face that is bouncing against the wall to give you the really soft light right now. Right now I have like a one strip of white light that is my normal apartment light, but here's the Elgato Key Light Mini, and this is what I mean. You can see it's definitely harsher. My skin already looks way more oily, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad for the size of this thing. So my use case is going to be tech review. I'm mostly going to be pointing this at tech. The question is, why would you want something that has this battery for 4 hours? We're imagining that you're not live streaming for 4 hours, just for 4 hours on stream. And if you are, then you're sitting at your desk and you can just plug it in. Yes, you can use it while it's plugged in. That's the question I was asking myself. But then I realized with the price point, which is $100, I believe, it is kind of an affordable all-in-one light on top of being, Wi-Fi compatible and compatible with your Stream Deck. If your goal is to really get into that Elgato ecosystem, I think this is a good entry point. And then you have, the mobile streamers. Maybe, you go around your place with your tripod and you have a whole mobile setup with your phone. Maybe you stream on TikTok, on Instagram, maybe on YouTube, and you do just chatting all around the place, and now you have a light that you can mount right next to your phone or right next to your camera, depending on what your setup is. 800 lumens is actually bright enough to get like a great quality on your phone. Now, what would be my real recommendation if you're gonna use this as a stream light? First of all, we're gonna bypass the whole battery part. You're gonna have it plugged in all the time, basically, and connected to your Wi-Fi so that you can control it with a Stream Deck or just with your phone app, for example. So yeah, you don't actually need a Stream Deck in order to connect it wirelessly. You just need a phone. If your skin is lighter, basically less reflective than mine, you can just put it on a stand, maybe the Elgato stand, for example, and then just point it at your face, and then you will be fine. Now, if your skin is like mine or closer to mine, or you have the possibility of looking greasy on camera, I would not directly point it at myself. I would probably buy something like what is called a China ball, or I would probably add extra layers of diffusion For example, this is parchment paper. So this is how bright this is. And if you go through it, you can create yourself a very, very soft source of light. So directly, you know, if you're that close, really, you're not gonna be that close. And then boom, you can see I'm still being affected by the light. Without parchment paper, I absolutely don't like. You can see under my eye how it's shiny, my nose is shiny, but with a little bit of parchment paper, we get pretty soft light and my skin is not really glowing. Of course, we need to find the balance between the distance and everything. Of course, like the closer it is, the less diffuse, the further it is, the more diffuse. But basically, I've created a larger source of light with more diffusion. So if you're gonna use this for your face, this is my advice. Try to diffuse it a little bit. If you wanna put a piece of cardboard and then it holds the parchment paper, probably you can do that. I also said just put it on the stand, but the reason why you can put it on the stand is because it has a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom. So it's universal, it's compatible with probably your selfie stick, and even the Elgato face cam. You see the bottom here? It is a 1/4 inch thread. So if I were to take this off, I can totally use this to put the light on. For example, don't do that because the light is considerably heavier than the camera, but I'm just telling you, this is how universal this thing is. If you're wild enough to do it and you know you're not gonna bump into your table and drop everything, that's a possibility. So I think that's something to be highlighted. Let me place it on my monitor. Don't do this, don't do this. I'm just showing you, hey, if you wanna do it, it's possible, but it's sitting on my monitor, because that's something that I also hear a lot of people say is, I don't have space to put another tripod or to clamp another arm to my table. There you go, you can put it on the monitor. Let me show you the white balance mode. So you press once on the jog wheel, it flashes a little bit to let you know, hey, you're changing the mode. And then I believe you pull down to go, no, we're going white here. You pull up, so plus, in order to add warmth. And you can see, we're getting super warm. There you go. So that's a pretty different look. So depending on your skin tone and basically how you want to emphasize your skin tone, you can switch between them. Personally, that's not my thing because I'm mostly going for a futuristic style of branding. So it doesn't really match the warm sunset look. Also, it makes my teeth look extra yellow. I don't like that. And then if you want to get out, we just press the jog wheel once, it flashes. And now we're in brightness mode. I want to show you if I pull down, you're going to see there's increments. Like, well, I don't know if you can see, but you can see that there's visible increments. It's not like a soft, it's not dimming very softly. This is like the lowest, I believe. That's the lowest. It's really not dimming softly. It's going pop, 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 pop steps. Kind of like the Elgato ring light. You see this? Which brings me into, but I don't want to say pros and cons, but little things that I've noticed, and I have some things to say about it. First of all, the cable is angled like that, so that when you're plugging it in, it will look like this. Now, why would they make it like this? I'm guessing because, you know, I was also the guy who was like, hey, cable management is important. So bringing the cable behind the device, I'm not against. But that being said, my first thought was like, why is this weird? Like, are you trying to make like proprietary cables or something like that, making it non-compatible with other devices? I don't trust it. I believe this is a cool way to have the cable be straight down and coming down the arm so you can do good cable management. That's cool. So I believe that's what Elgato was going for. The jog wheel is cool. I think it's kind of fancy basically. I don't like the increments, although I believe it has to do probably with the Wi-Fi control and stuff like that, or just the chip that they developed for the ring light, for example. I actually would rather have one button for plus, one button for minus, and then one button for mode. Why? Because right now, if I want to go full brightness, it's going to take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 to 7 seconds in order to go full brightness. If I had a scroll wheel, I can just go boom, 100%, right? Boom, 0%. If I had buttons, at least if I know it's increments, I could go ta 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 ta. I can speed run it basically. So not a huge deal. Just me, very used to, you know, going to the thing that I want immediately instead of having to press and then wait. Kind of like a MOBA where you click and your character has to walk. I hate that. Very cool thing is the battery indicator. You don't have to press a button, so you never have to guess how much battery you have left. It's just showing there the whole time, which is really cool. Of course, the design is a big plus with Elgato. There is a little reset hole right there in case there's a bug or whatever. The whole thing feels solid. It's actually, you know, slightly heavy, I would say. chuck this at some, don't do it. But it doesn't feel like, you know, super light and super plasticky. When it comes to the Wi-Fi connection, I know I said that I wasn't gonna connect it, and I'm not going to, but I totally trust Elgato. I'm gonna show you the key light, and I'm gonna turn it off, then I'm gonna turn it back on. It's going to turn on immediately, and then it's gonna switch a little bit. And that's the amount of time that the Elgato key light takes to get into the Wi-Fi system, basically. And it's like the fastest I've ever seen, like faster than Philips Hue or any other connected lights that I've ever had, ever. Check this out. Okay, so it's turned off, okay? So it's gonna flash one light, and then the second one means that it's connected. So one, literally 1 second, literally 1 second. So I believe this, hopefully, you know, if anyone else is gonna try it, let me know if I'm correct on this one, but I trust Elgato with this one. Usually they're really good with just boom, 1 second and it's connected and it remembers the previous settings. The 1/4 inch thread at the bottom, amazing, amazing, amazing. I always love when things are universal, meaning that you can buy accessories for everything. If I wanted to have a chest mount light, turns out I have a chest mount for my GoPro, so I could, it works. I love when products allow you to get creative with other products that you have. Like right in front of me, I have like a table dolly. If I wanted to, it has a 1/4 inch thread. So if I wanted to have this to make some sort of fancy product shoot, boom, there it is. It's not super stable, but there it is. Love that. Now let's have the important talk. Let's talk about DIY. Let's talk about alternatives. Are there alternatives at this price point? This price point that is that are as bright? Yes. That last as long when it comes to the battery? Not sure. That look as good? Not sure. That don't flicker at any level of brightness? Not sure. Can you build a DIY version of it? Yes. But I wouldn't. If I'm gonna build a DIY light, I'd rather it be big. In that case, can I make it portable? Absolutely. There are USB powered LED lights that I can buy, and you would just buy like a power bank, attach it to the back, would probably weigh the same. It would not be as bright. I don't think you can buy a USB powered light strip that would be as, well, it's minimum brightness right now. I don't believe you can do that. And if you do, I have no idea how you would manage the battery. If you buy a huge power bank, you're probably already exceeding $50 just for the power bank, not counting the lights. And in general, USB powered light strips, like white light strips, there aren't a lot that are not flickering on camera. And of course, the hardest one to find is high CRI, meaning like the color accuracy is usually not good. It's funny because I'm looking at a strip of light right now. It's super low, so you can't really see it, but it's like one of the best. It's the ones that I use when I made the DIY key light, for example. On camera, you can tell that they give off this like greenish tint. Sometimes it's a purplish tint, sometimes it's a greenish tint, but there's always like some weird tint, making it kind of hard to have like an accurate color scheme color, for example. So yes, you can DIY it. If you wanted to do everything, including Wi-Fi, you can also do that, but you're probably gonna end up spending almost $100. I believe you can do it for less, but you're not gonna have the brightness, you're not gonna have the high CRI. If you do have Wi-Fi, it's not gonna be part of an ecosystem really, and it's definitely not gonna be reconnecting in 1 second every time you turn it off. So yeah, part of me wants to take it apart. Apparently there's 4 little screws at the back here. Please don't try to do it. I know what I'm doing, that's why I'm thinking about it. And you can just pry them off. I don't know if it's glue or if it's a magnet keeping those little tabs in, but what I would want to do is be able to replace or just remove the diffusion so I can have harsher light, since I'm gonna be working with products, you know. But yeah, great little product, decent price. I believe it could be way cheaper if it wasn't, you know, Wi-Fi integrated and all of that, and you know, high CRI and all of that. But with the software and the Elgato ecosystem going with it, of course that adds a ton of value, making it pretty much like a cheap product for Elgato, really, for what it is. If you're not a live streamer, you don't plan on buying a stream deck, you don't plan on buying more Elgato or more live streamer products, I don't think I would recommend this. I would tell you, hey, go with any other alternatives, or don't even go with a battery powered one. There are a ton of them on the market. Just make sure you get something that is also high CRI. That being said, if you are a live streamer and you already own Elgato product, or you want to buy Elgato products, you want to have this live streamer ecosystem, I should say, definitely get this one. There's just no other on the market that will give you this this quality and also this convenience, if you will. Anyways, thank you Elgato for sending me this. I don't have any contract with Elgato, meaning that I can say whatever I want about the product. So don't come at me like, oh yeah, well you're Elgato shill or you're paid by Elgato. I'm not. There is a ton of use for this. Let me know in the comments, what would you use it for? I just thought of IRL streaming, but I legit would not bring this outside because of the price, but also it's kind of heavy and it's kind of like, unless I'm doing like a full production somewhere with I don't know, like with some actors or whatever, I wouldn't like have this on a stick with my phone and just IRL stream with it. That wouldn't be my choice. I'd probably go with a way cheaper and a way lighter light. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch more tech reviews, I have a dedicated channel for tech reviews. I just posted one about lighting and how I actually get my room to be that purple, so go check it out. That being said, on this channel I'm still doing some tech reviews, mostly when they have to do directly with live streaming and I feel like you guys could benefit from it. The next review that I'm gonna do is this RGB mic, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Twitch. I be streaming, so follow me, and I will see you guys next time. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.